In the dark, dark, dark.
Feel it in your bones down in the dark. Come on, baby, let it go in the dark.
Okay, now.
Welcome to Nerd Shit in the Dark, everyone.
Welcome back. I can't get words out of my mouth. Welcome back, everybody, to Nerd Shit in the Dark.
You can get out of your mouth. So
here we are.
Here we are today
In the studio again.
Yes. What is the date?
April
16th.
16th.
Yep.
Wow. Good catch on the date, man.
Yep. You know what's in 4 days?
I do know what's in 4 days.
Yeah.
420.
Yep.
What are you doing for 420?
Nothing.
Really?
It's school day.
Oh, that's true. Swag's coming here for 419. He's staying the night.
Gotcha.
So we're gonna kind of like treat that as our 420.
Right.
Yeah.
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 Well, I hope you guys have fun without me.
You can come if you want.
All right.
You're not doing anything.
419.
It's Wednesday. I think Pete
It's
might
also
be
a
coming
school
too.
night.
It is a school night.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm a good kid, and I don't
You're a good kid that doesn't do things on
do
school
drugs
nights.
on school nights.
Yeah. You don't want to get to first period late or anything like that.
No. You never want to be late.
Well, you could if you would, but if you can't. So I was thinking, so we did that little riff there at the beginning.
Right.
I probably should explain that, though I don't know if we really need to. They kind of all start with like something like that.
Yeah, we're riffers.
We wanted to make a little of a kind of a hip hoppy
Yeah.
type of start because
Yeah.
I don't know why. Because I'm not.
You don't know why?
Well, I do know why.
Okay.
But I don't know
Because
why.
I know why.
Well, let me. So tonight's episode, the main topic for the episode is, Step Up. We're gonna talk a couple
Yes.
Step Up movies.
Few Step Up movies.
2 Step Up movies. I watched 2 Step Up movies. We just got done watching the second Step Up movie.
If you're unfamiliar with the Step Up franchise, it's one of the greatest works of art ever created. And it
Strictly
really,
through dance, so
Yeah,
not through
strictly through
acting
dance.
ability or like
No, yeah, none of that. No.
no
But the
Oscar-worthy
dance,
movies here.
which is what it's all about, as we learned from the message of that movie we just watched.
Mm-hmm.
It nails it, in my opinion. But anyways, that's what we're going to be talking about
we'll
today.
get there.
Yeah.
But what I was getting at was like, do I think they're
Yeah.
hip hoppy? Because are they hip hoppy movies or are they just
It's
dance
hard to
movies?
say, and this
Do
has
I
been
think
a
they're
debate,
hip hoppy because they're actually hip hoppy, or am I just thinking they're dancing like black people?
I would say there are definitely
to my mind.
there are definitely hip hoppier versions of Step Up movies that do have it would be legit like hip hop dance movies.
I just because like I don't know if the first one's necessarily hip hoppy.
Step Up
but I guess it
are
is.
like hip hop packaged in a very sanitized way to the general
Hip hop for white people.
Yes, exactly.
Okay.
To get to as big of an audience as possible.
Yes.
Make it palatable, but it's still the streets.
Well, we'll get there.
Yeah.
But so that's kind of like why we started it off like that today. But the thing is, I know we talked in the last episode about how like vote on the theme song.
Right.
I think I've actually come up with a good theme song.
Play it on us.
Well, it's not in words. I have to
Bust it out right
to
now.
make it. So here's.
Show us.
I can't show. I haven't gotten anything done. I just have the idea in my head.
All right.
So I don't want to say it on the podcast. I'll tell you about it later because
Okay.
I don't want to spoil it. But I do, Miranda. I told you about my idea for the intro for Nerd Shit in the Dark. Like, yeah. So I have something I'm working on that
You're
I think
cooking up something.
that we could use. Yes.
Yeah,
that I think
something's in the script
yes.
kitchen being cooked up right now for
sure.
for all you shitters out there.
For all you darkies. We're still voting on that one.
Yeah,
No, I do think.
I think shitters is.
I think shitters is
The
definitely
PC
the one
one.
we should use. Yeah.
Yeah.
Darkies is just to be funny.
Just avoid any legal trouble.
But
in the
I
future.
do like shitters. Yeah.
Yeah.
So we'll go with it. I think I'll still jokingly say darkies from time to time.
Yeah, that could be a good running joke.
That's like a little slight of racism to
A
make
little
a good running
controversy.
joke.
That's how it sells.
So
baby.
that's coming up. That's
Yeah.
coming up on the show. Is I have something for an intro, and I think I want to have it ready by the Star Wars episode, but I don't know if I will. And we might just start the Star Wars episode of Star Wars.
Well, thanks for filling us in there, Chaz.
No problem. I just wanted to let you know. I wanted to let everybody know.
The audience will be in the dark until a further date.
You'll be in the dark until the end of this podcast, because I'm not going to tell you about it.
It is the dark right now.
It is the dark right now. We are officially recording at night.
Yep.
So, with that aside, a little housekeeping, I suppose, out of the way. Things to look forward to.
Right.
Let's just hop right in, because I really want to get to talking about...
Right down dirty.
I really want to get to the... I keep wanting to say Just Dance, but the Step Up series, but we'll get there. So we'll start with new nerd shit.
New nerd shit.
Do you want to start?
You start.
Do you want me to start?
I want you to start this time.
Okay. Good.
Because I feel like you have something.
I do, and it's something that I think you know about this. Probably need packed. Just saying. So I decided to finally. Well, I told you about how I couldn't see the Dungeons and Dragons movie. How it just couldn't.
Right.
Stupid, but I needed something to scratch that itch. I needed something to scratch the itch of like Dungeons and Dragons, but not Dungeons and Dragons. So I ended up taking Jared's recommendation from when he was here that last time.
Oh, yeah.
And I ended up watching the entire
special episode with Jared.
Special episode with Jared, and he talked about the Legend of Vox Machina on Amazon Prime.
Oh, yeah.
We watched the first episode. I decided to I basically binged the first season for today. Like, I watched it Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Finished the first season and watched a little bit of the second season today of The Legend of Vox Machina. And
what do you think?
I can say, have you watched more of it?
I've watched probably
You watched the first episode, I remember, with.
I've watched over half of season 1.
Okay.
Like, I got well past the vampires plot.
Okay.
The Owen guy's
So I wasn't sure if you'd end up watching more of it. So we can at least go a little back and forth with this. But I watched the entire first season, and like I said, I needed something to scratch that Dungeons and Dragons itch because, little background story for people, because most of the people. We're sending this to a lot of people these days. I just want to tell you that.
We're growing.
Yes.
Shitters are multiplying.
There are a lot of shitters out there.
A lot of shitters. Shitter army's growing.
Yes. And they might not know what The Legend of Vox Machina is. So to explain kind of the idea of this is, Critical Role is this group of their voice actors. They're voice actors in the business that get together. Well-known voice actors that get together and they live stream campaigns of Dungeons and Dragons, and they've been doing this since 2015.
For example, one of their main cast members is the voice of Ellie in the Last of Us video game.
Sure, yeah. And all of these people, they streamed from 2015 their Dungeons and Dragons campaign as they played it together. And this show is an animated retelling of their Dungeons and Dragons campaign, with all of them as the voice actors voicing their characters. So it's a very interesting show because, like I said, I needed something to itch that Dungeons and Dragons scratch. And I was like, how about a show that's about people's Dungeons and Dragons campaign? And I liked the first episode when Jared showed it to us, but it took me a while to keep watching more of it. But I was so pleasantly, not surprised, but pleased.
Yeah.
It was very easy to just sit here and watch the whole first season the past couple days to talk about it.
It is very good. I have been meaning to pick it back up again.
Yeah, the animation is pretty good. It's not out of this world, but it's not bad either. It's really good. And the voice actors, let me get to the most important thing about this show, because does Legend of Vox Machina really do anything to stretch or shake or do anything new with the genre? Not really. Not anything new. So the thing that makes this show so good are its well-written and likable main cast of characters.
Yep, that was the whole... I mean, if you think about it, the original creation of this campaign it wasn't animated. It was mainly just listening to these people voice act.
Right.
But you saw them you saw them at the table playing Dungeons and Dragons. They were just in character all the time.
Right.
And so it's just enhanced with the animation.
Right.
The animation's very good.
Very good. Very nice to look at. So being able to like all these characters, and I love it because it's also just it's set in I don't know what to even call it, medieval fantasy world.
Yeah.
But they all talk like modern day. At least the main cast kind of
cracking modern day jokes.
Sticks. They swear it's very.
It's adult oriented too.
Very adult, gruesome. Just a show that rips countless random people to shreds around you, children included.
There are anime titties.
Yes, like we said, very R-rated. And I just, man, the first season, it did have a lot of, like I said, it didn't do anything to stretch the genre, perhaps. It doesn't need to, though, because what it works with, it works really well. A lot of surprising moments that you haven't gotten through the first season, but there's a lot of just, like, holy fuck, like, moments. Not mind-blowing ones, but they still catch you, like,
yeah.
I gotta watch the next episode. So I was really happy, and the second season starts off kind of with a bang as well, so it's like, I'm compelled, I'm into this show. It's cool to see the dynamic, all the characters, they all kind of work off each other so well, like, you always get pairings of 2 and 2, and see how their specific friendship might be, as well as everybody working with it.
Well, and it's executed super well, because it's like,
so well. Some
of the best voice actors in the business, and they're all friends.
Right.
And they've done this all before.
I gotta give it's been out since, I think, earlier last year or something, but, like, bravo. I took my time watching this. It's weird, dude. For the same reason I didn't watch Game of Thrones, I kind of shied away from starting Vox Machina. I'd see this, like, imp character and be like, what's that about? I don't know why I do this. And then the imp character ends up becoming, like, one of my favorite characters. And I'm just like, why did I don't always hate them, but I'm just like, I feel like I can't identify with, like, liking, like, a small character to be the lead or something.
Yeah.
And he's not really the lead, he's just one of the main characters. But, like, I love that dude. And it was the same with Tyrion Lannister. Like, immediately I was like, fucking love Ride or Die.
I did
Tyrion
enjoy,
Lannister.
I got to the one scene where he, like, fucks up that dude's mansion, or is supposed to fuck up that dude's mansion.
Mm-hmm.
Or he's supposed to cause a distraction.
Right, yeah.
And it's just him.
Yes.
And he has, like, no combat
and he just
ability.
is, like, taking elixirs that, like, change him into different things.
Yeah.
And it's
he
chaos.
doesn't know what they do.
Yeah, and he's the way he speaks, I think, really, that's how I speak. Like, fuck, like, holy fuck, so, like, a lot of fucking innuendos. It's just so solid.
Yeah.
All around, can't wait to slave through season 2 and talk about that when we get there. But definitely continue.
There's only
watching.
2 seasons.
2 seasons,
yeah.
12 episodes in a season. That's why it was so easy to, because we watched the
Yeah,
one.
it's not a big commitment.
Yeah, I went to work Friday morning, watched an episode, like, while I was doing book stuff, then watched a few more. Like, it was easy to just chuck through it all. And yeah, the villains are good. It was one of those things where I wasn't sure if it was going to be, because the first 2 episodes tell kind of one story, and then it's over. And I was like, oh, is this whole season going to be, like, random side quests throughout? But it really just does that one side story at the beginning, and then tells a full season plot of what they do with the vampires and stuff.
Which a lot of D&D campaigns are like that. Like, there's, like, an initial plot which leads into the real plot.
Yeah, which now leads into, I'm assuming, another season-long plot.
Yeah.
Or it could be multiple things, but it seems like it's going to be a season-long plot. So, I'm in it. I'm really enjoying it.
Have you done any real Dungeons and Dragons campaigns?
I've never played.
Oh, you've never played? What happened to the one?
I played one time at a party when I was in the 8th grade, and I dipped because World of Warcraft was out by that point. So I was just like, I'm going to go play that downstairs. I'm going to see it. First time I ever played Dungeons and Dragons, I've already played WoW, like...
Right.
But I want to. I have the books in my car. You've seen them.
Yeah.
We were going to join our friend's campaign, but we just could not. Anxiety got us on that one.
Yeah, that's what I was going to ask about. What happened to that?
So they're doing it, but yeah, it didn't quite make the cut on that one. Still want to do it, though. Still want to do it. Still want to see the Dungeons and Dragons. I think, like, now that I'm into Vox Machina, I really, once I see the Dungeons and Dragons moves, I'm going to make that move. I just got to find the right people to play with and, like, basically play it right. I might watch some videos. I might watch the Vox Machina people's, like, live stream of their actual thing. You know what I mean?
Right.
Now that I've seen this. But I don't know where to look for that. Do you know?
No. YouTube.
Probably.
Yeah.
Okay. So, that's my new nerd
All their
shit.
videos are out on YouTube.
Oh, cool. Well,
Yeah.
then I will look for them, because I'd like to see them. I'd like
They're
to see
3
them.
hours long.
I know what some of them look like, but there's some that I don't know what they look like, so...
Yeah.
Seeing their characters, seeing them.
You know, Matt Mercer.
Yeah. Yeah. And they got,
Who all has he voiced? He's voiced a bunch of things.
He has voiced a lot of people, yes. But honestly, I went to look it up the other day, and it was just like... I was surprised by how many... I had no idea. I was like, I don't know this person at all. More recently, he voiced a character named Mephisto in Blue Exorcist, which I rewatched a couple months back.
Oh yeah, I got out of watching Blue Exorcist.
It's solid, but the anime's tough to keep up with. But they got the guy who does Gara. He's one of the like voice actors. It's all like all the voices you recognize them. You know them from some. Like when we first watched it, I was like, fucking David Tennant played that dude in the first 2 episodes. Remember, like the dude that ended up being a dragon.
Oh yeah,
that was David Tennant. It didn't even fucking sound like him, but it was. That's what I mean. It's a pretty cool cast. Yeah. So there's that.
Yeah.
And that's what I got. I'm probably going to burn through the 2nd season this week. Because I don't got a lot to do at work.
Right.
So, yeah. I recommend it to anybody out there that wants to just get into a cool fantasy, medieval, but like modern talking, great cast of characters.
Yeah, very easy to get into.
Very easy to get into. Check out The Legend of Vox Machina. Saturday nights at 9 p.m. No. Just on Amazon Prime.
Amazon Prime, yeah.
Yeah. It's on that.
Amazon Prime.
Internet.
On the internet.
Go on. What do you got?
So,
2 boys.
I haven't really had much new nerd shit. I've mainly been rereading stuff. Like, I've been rereading Tower of God. I restarted completely. Because, like, now that I understand more aspects about the world, I get certain plot points more. Because it doesn't really do a great job at explaining in story what's going on in the series. But, like, if you watch a few videos of people explaining shit to you, it makes more sense.
Nerd shit?
Nerd shit mostly, but other shit too.
I like when people explain nerd shit to me.
Yep. But yeah, I think it's even better the second read through because I understand it more, and I'm excited to like get to because he's off of hiatus now.
I've heard
he's back, so he's released the first few chapters again. And one of the things with him is that even though he does take breaks a lot because of his health, like similar to Oda, but like more so, the chapters that he releases are typically very long. Like
That's good.
That's good. Like some of them are probably double.
You got to counterbalance that.
Double the length of like an average One Piece chapter.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Yeah, especially the way it's. Why don't you explain? How about explain Tower of God a little bit to the audience?
Oof, that's a tough.
Not
order.
the plot, but you know what you like. You know what I mean? Let them into the world of Tower of God.
Essentially, Tower of God.
Who introduced you to it?
You did.
Yes.
Yes. You introduced me to Tower of God when the anime came out. There isn't one season of the anime, and I think the second season's supposed to come out. It was
confirmed. I haven't heard anything since it got confirmed.
I don't know when that's due, but it's a webtoon series that is a Korean manhwa, and it takes place in this high fantasy world called the Tower, where basically people are chosen to climb the tower, and there's like 127 floors or something, or 130 floors, and each floor is like more difficult, but as you level up and get through the floors, you become stronger, and to the point where if you reach the top of the tower, you essentially are a god. Like you. And
going through the floors, you do like little it's like Squid Games.
Yes,
up the floors.
Very much like Squid Game, like very Squid Game-esque.
It's very the writer's intelligent.
Yes.
It's the games that he makes to put these players to do against one another.
It's sometimes hard to wrap my head around. Sometimes I just
it is.
accept what's going on, that I don't really understand the rules of the game, because some of them get pretty deep.
Dude. Yes, if I've ever needed to read things over, it's those games. Sometimes.
And there's a ton of confusing lore with it, but it's very interesting lore when you actually read into it. And like I said, like I think it's, in terms of power scaling, probably like the most broken power scaling system I've ever read.
Fair.
Because like
it is all over the place.
Because like the 10, like literally like the top. So essentially, if you reach the top of the tower, you become a ranker, which means you hold a rank.
One of those monsters from Star Wars.
A rank. You hold a rank that determines how powerful you are in the tower, and so like the higher rank you are, the more of a big deal you are, and the more people
what your rank
beat.
are.
But like once it gets to like high ranker level, it's like almost incomprehensible how strong they are.
Mm-hmm.
Like, they can, like, destroy entire floors.
Sure.
And do crazy.
They've alluded to that with where I've
Yeah, like, they're literally, like, supremely powerful gods.
And you meet them at the beginning, and they don't really show you just how strong they are either.
No,
it takes that blonde-haired one.
It takes a long
time. The main, like,
for
spy guy.
That's, like, Season 3 is out now in the webtoons, and Season 3 is where it really shows, like, the full strength of Rankers, and it's crazy. It gets so good. But it essentially follows a main character who came into the tower from the outside. This is where it gets
uninvited.
Yeah, this is where it gets confusing, because, like, the tower is huge, like, massive, like
they spend years climbing it.
Yeah, and they spend years climbing it to the point where, like, people spend, like, thousands of years climbing it. Like, they don't age.
Yeah, sure, yeah.
They don't age the same way that we do, because they have, like, special...
It's a tower of God, bitch.
Magic. Yeah, like,
they're
like,
magic.
Different. They're, like, not regular people.
They're practically irregular people.
Yeah. But essentially, everyone in the Tower of God
there
universe...
There are characters that are named irregulars. That's a joke.
Yes.
Inside joke.
Right.
Otherwise, it's a really dumb thing for me to just say.
You'll get it if you read it.
Go ahead.
Yeah, so essentially the main character is called an irregular, which means that he wasn't originally from the tower. He came from outside, which, like, every character in the Tower of God universe who are called regulars are from the tower. But there are a select few individuals who are irregulars.
There's societies and clans and worlds within the tower.
Yeah, it's
not just like a tower. It's
like hundreds of times.
Their universe.
Yeah, it's like hundreds of times bigger than Earth, like way bigger.
Like 2 Earths.
Like at least 2. No, it's huge. And yeah, there's just like a bunch of cool high fantasy aspects to it. But yeah, it gets really interesting in Season 3.
Porn.
What?
Fantasy? Full torque?
Full torque.
Oh my god. Go on.
Yeah, but it's really good where it's at right now. Because the whole concept of irregulars is that they get stronger. There's something special about them that breaks the rules of the tower. Mm-hmm. That, like, they're not supposed to be there, so they can, like, do things that other people can't. Mm-hmm. And so they get stronger, like, way faster than regulars who climb the tower.
Right. And the premise basically is the main character, like Brayden was saying, is this irregular. He comes from outside. He follows this girl.
Yes.
Who he is his light because she, like, saved him from a dark period that I'm sure they have gotten into in the series by now.
Yes.
I'm not there but you don't learn about that right at the gate. But she gets selected to go into the tower, and leaves Bond behind, and he chases him out, and that's he's chasing after this girl.
After her, who is also an irregular.
Yeah.
Because they both came from the outside.
And spoilers, straight up cunt.
Oh, yeah.
Big time. But, spoilers. You're not supposed to know that until at least the end of the first season.
Right. And the first season's short.
Yeah, and the first season, I think, doesn't give you all the information you need to follow what's going on in the comic.
No, well, that's why I recommend reading the webcomic.
It's also a lot of, like, what's going on? Who fucking cares?
Yeah.
It like, tells you what you need. I was able to jump into the comic immediately afterwards. And if there's another season coming...
They definitely have to cut a lot from the comic to make it work in the anime. And there is a lot of extra stuff that makes sense.
There's so much shit. There's
it's huge. Like, he writes a ton about it.
Yeah. It's a massive...
But just to give a perception of how crazy the high rankers get, one of the main guys, Kun, who's Bomb's original teammate.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. His father, Kun Edwan, who's one of the 10 family leaders.
Sure.
Which the 10 family leaders are, like, irregulars who came a long time ago and, like, rule over the tower now.
Of course, yes.
But his dad is an irregular, and he is said to have a spear that when it's decompressed, it can pierce, like, at least 70 floors of the tower, which would be, like...
That's like an Earth and a half.
At least. No, it'd be like... it'd be like continents upon continents long.
Yeah, less than an Earth.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But anyways, Tower of God's really good, and I'm excited getting back into that.
Yeah, the Tower of God is it was a show that in a time in my life where I wasn't trying or watching anything new for a long time. I was very in a dark place, comfortable with only watching shit that I knew was safe. Tower of God was that first thing that got me back into watching new stuff again. It's a very... I definitely recommend this show. It's only like 12 or 13 episodes. And the aesthetic mixed with the tone of it is a very interesting one. And I really loved it a lot. And I'm kind of mad at myself for not being caught up on the comic. It's just harder to burn through the comic.
Especially in the middle, there is
I have been on the Hell Train for years. I've been reading. I've been on the Hell Train. I got on the Hell Train, and the fucking the railroad tracks fucking stopped.
Yeah, eventually, once you get to the floor of death is when it picks back up again. That's a really good arc.
Story of my life. Yeah, I'll get there. But yeah, totally. Tower of God. I'm glad you reread through it again. Nice.
Yep, halfway through it again, so.
Cool.
And the only other new nerd shit that I've been doing, we also did today.
Oh, right. Yes. We did. I forgot we wanted to get into this. So, little word up front. Braden and I are expecting...
Yes.
To do a streaming for video games. We're going to try to do Nerd Shit in the Dark streaming as well as with the podcast. So from time to time...
On Twitch?
Braden, I hope you have a little bit more... I've never really used Twitch.
I've never used Twitch either, but I can't be that hard. If you see some of the chuckleheads on there...
I do.
Yeah.
If those people can figure it out, we can too.
Yeah.
So we're going to start to do a video game stream. Not, kind of like the podcast.
Right.
Here and there, when we can.
Yeah.
Of...
Sea of Thieves.
The game we're going to start with is Sea of Thieves.
Sea of Thieves.
Sea of Thieves.
Sea of Thieves. There you go.
Yeah.
So, what did you think of Sea of Thieves?
So Sea of Thieves...
Well, if you could describe it.
If I could describe
Based off of... Because I've been playing
it. We tried it out today. We didn't bust out the streaming, but we did play it for a little bit.
Yeah, just... Disclaimer, I've been playing Sea of Thieves for a week now, so I'm pretty experienced. Chaz just started today.
I just played it. I played it for about 16, maybe 25 minutes today. And I liked what I played so far of it. Yeah. It is, it was a lot at once, but the graphics are very pretty. Like I said, it has a very Wind Waker meets new modern, like, if they could make Wind Waker now.
It's one of those games that's very relaxing until it's not.
Okay.
The stressful moments are very stressful, and they can be rage-inducing.
I could see that. We got into that one battle today, and I was like, I can't kill any of these things.
Yeah.
The combat, that's going to take some getting used to. It's a very unique style of shooting.
It's
one bullet at a time.
It's purposefully simplistic, because the whole concept is that you're pirates who are sailing a ship on the Sea of Thieves, and there are other players that you can come across, and you can attack them, and they can attack you. And essentially you can just go on adventures with your friends. And so we tried that today. And
it went pretty well. Honestly, before even Braden and I got together, I just played the tutorial of this game.
Yes.
And I had a really fun little time playing it. Like I said, I think we could have live streamed that because it was just funny.
Yeah,
fun.
It's an interesting game to play, and it throws a lot at you.
Yeah.
But it does that because once you have a grasp of that, you pretty much know the game.
It gives you a very basic rundown of here's things that you're going to be doing in the tutorial.
Once you get the hang of it, do it a few times, you start to understand, like, okay, we got to angle the sails now, or we got to patch up that hull.
Right. Yeah. Tedious things that usually I don't want to do on video games, but I guess if I have to, I will.
But it can get really intense, especially when you're in a PvP battle, and they're, like, hitting you with cannonballs a ton. You have to have someone repairing the ship, and you have to have someone shooting back at them. Sailing.
I couldn't even keep up with the pirate ship that was programmed to just be in the game and not fight me at all. I was so like, oh god, what do I do? Couldn't even find it. Let alone like a real person that knows what they're doing comes and just tries to kill me. I'd be like, ah.
Yeah, there is a learning curve, but the combat is purposefully designed to have an equal playing field across the board. There aren't any items that you can get that like break the game, that make you like way stronger than anyone else. Like PvP, once you get the hang of it, it doesn't change. Like, you know, sword fighting, like you just have to learn to time certain attacks.
Sword fight, yeah.
Yeah, and then like it takes a few.
I saw you could block.
Yeah.
That took me a while to figure out.
Yeah.
Because Braden and I washed up ashore these fucking skeleton monsters, and they were tough, man. They were tough tatas right off the gate.
Well, and that's because we were doing one of my quests, which I have.
Yeah, and
better quests at this point.
Like level 2 shooting with my. Yeah,
right.
And I didn't even know. I just ran up to these guys.
Would be less intense.
Yeah, they killed me twice very fast.
We were fighting the gold skeletons, which like you can't kill unless you blow them up. So you have to have something.
Yeah, I'm running in with a fucking sword and a fucking pea shooter.
Yeah.
Get my ass beat. I tried a lot of... So, it was funny, too, because, like, when I first ran out with the shotgun, I aimed at them from the boat and shot, and it fucking blew up. I didn't know you shot a cannon at the same time. So, for the first shot with my shotgun,
like,
I was like, oh my fucking god, I'm gonna mutilate these guys. And then I went to do it, like, the next time, and I was like, huh. Damn, like, it took me a couple shots to be like, fuck, it was just him. He shot a cannon at him at this... I was bummed. And then I went out and could not kill anybody. And yeah, until the not golden ones showed up. It's a cool game. So look forward to seeing us playing that.
Yeah.
Online and just shooting the old chat while we do it because... And for me, figure it out because I'm going to go full...
There's also...
I'm going to full torque is what I almost said. Right. That's not what I meant to say. I'm going to go full just...
Into it.
Yeah.
Balls deep.
Balls deep, just me. Lost and confused in this game. Because I think that makes for better television. It's just me being like, what the fuck?
Oh, it's much better if you're experienced.
Yeah, so watch us become... It's Nerd Shit in the Dark.
Pirate
Quest
Legends.
to become Pirate Legends.
Quest to become Pirate Legends.
The
Nerd
movie.
Shit. And yes.
It's our movie.
Special event. It is our movie.
Yarr.
It's about time for our first feature-length film.
I thought so too. 20-something episodes?
I know, right? We have to
Pokemon had a movie
expand.
by that point. Jeez. So this is a fun way to get into some of these...
Yeah, and it does lead to
plans.
Comical events. Like it is a game.
Oh god! Like
there are plenty of funny
the
things.
The tutorial was a comical event,
yeah.
So it's just like.
But it manages to keep the atmosphere of like, you're a freaking pirate. You have to watch out for other pirates. If you see a ship, you got to decide to either run away from it or attack it.
Yeah, and it's always. It's sometimes you said ghost ships, but sometimes
there are ghost ships.
Most times it's the other players in the world.
Most of the
You're
time,
in this MMO. It's basically an MMO.
Like I said, when we first logged in today, I don't think you noticed it, but there was a player ship that was spawned in at that outpost.
Oh yeah, you said that there
and there are no like safe spots, like safe havens. Like even at outposts, people can run up on you and kill you and just take your stuff.
Life's a bitch, man.
So you have to always be careful. Yeah, but like, I think we were lucky because I think they just logged off.
Lucky us.
Yeah. Because they looked tough, because they had...
Well, there were 4 of them.
The skins that they had were pretty expensive, which means that they've
been playing a while.
Yeah. And that's the main way you upgrade is, like, cosmetics. Like, that's what you buy money with. Buy money with. That's what you
buy money with.
Use money to buy with.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Huh. I'm excited to play more of it. It's the water's so beautiful.
Oh yeah.
And there's like 2 different worlds. You got your on land type of like gameplay style, then you got your on your boat gameplay style.
Yeah, it's a whole different.
I have friends that play this game, and now I understand.
You'll start feeling like a pirate soon, especially once you get some upgrades. Like you can get your peg leg. I have a hook hand. If you noticed.
I did notice your character's pretty cool. I got to design mine to look nothing like the one I have now.
Yeah. Yeah, they start you off with a very basic sailor design.
Awful. Basic sailor design. I look like... I don't even know.
The fun thing with the hook hand is that you if you're a helmsman, you use your hook hand to do the helm. That's neat looking.
Attack people with your hook hand?
No, you just have a sword.
That's fair.
You use your hook hand to hold your gun, though.
That's cool.
Yeah, if you have a blunderbuss or something.
I'm looking forward to the character design once I get more into it.
Yeah. You'll unlock.
Which you're all gonna see if you come onto twitch.com nerdshitinthedark.
Yep, see us on Twitch.
We haven't. It's not. You can't find us yet, but at some point you will.
Subscribe to our Patreon.
Also, I think when we broadcast Nerd Shit in the Dark, it should be nerd sh and then like a some sort of edit, some sort of like beep for the eye for shit.
Yeah.
That's the look. We still say shit, but
yeah, that's respectable.
Yes, in the dark.
In the dark.
Yeah.
Well, wonderful. I'm glad that you enjoyed it.
Wunderbar. Yeah,
There's plenty more to see with the game. We had a very small taste of it today.
Like I said, 25 minutes tops because we had to get to our movie.
But it's addicting because of the nature. Like, initially I was disappointed when I found out that, like, none of the shit you got saved if you left. And, like, you start with a new ship every time. But, like, once you get into it and realize, like, oh, this makes it super easy to just, like, log in, do, like, a quest, log out, and then, like, start all over. Like, it makes it very low stakes, which is good because
I could use that sometimes.
Gonna lose your shit a lot.
I lose my shit every time I play a video game.
Yeah.
So at least a little bit. It's the only way I can stop playing. But yeah, I don't know. We'll try to. Probably not gonna get into that. Well, we'll see.
Soonish, my schedule's opening up here.
Can we do this like by not being together too? Do you think we can make that work? Like stream, but while we're playing online together with two separate. We'll figure it out.
Yeah, I think there's.
We'll watch some videos. Yeah, because I think it would make it easier for us to do that if we didn't have to get together to do that.
Because there's YouTubers who do collabs like that all the time.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, you might need a mic.
Yeah, I'll have to get one.
But we'll get there. The fun things coming your way with Nerd Shit in the Dark. We're more than just a podcast. I like to think we're an entire media. I like to think it's part of.
Yeah.
It's Chase Gruber's Kitchen is kind of part of that universe.
Right.
This now, I don't know.
Nerd Shit Entertainment.
Nerd Shit Entertainment. Oh, we'll get there. We'll get there. It all starts here, our growing audience. So, okay, moving on. Before we get into our main topic. I wanted to just talk slightly about the Mario movie. I know you haven't seen it.
Dish it.
But, dish it, yeah. We're bringing them potato chips! And the dip. Sorry, guys. So we went and saw the Super Mario Brothers movie on opening night. Just the other...
And what did you think?
I really liked it. I enjoyed it. So it's not a super long movie. It's not a super, like... You know,
I heard it's a respectable amount of
heavy
time.
movie, but
like hour and a half.
Hour and a half.
Yeah. Easy breezy night. I think more movies need to be hour and a half.
And they pack quite a bit into that hour and a half, and I've heard some complaints, and you know I think it's a movie that either you're gonna like it or you're not gonna like it. I think that the audience score is like 90 something, but the critic score is 52, and I'm like. That makes more sense to me. It's a movie that 50% of people liked, and it's like, you're either going to like it or you're not.
Yeah.
And for me, it worked.
Did you think it captured the essence of Mario?
Maybe not like 100%, but enough of it.
What did you think of the voice acting?
I thought the voice acting was all... They won me over almost immediately. They do
it was a Brooklyn accent, right?
They do a bit... It's like this Brooklyn-y... But it's not so much the accent as it is the sounds of their voice. Like Chris Pratt does this kind of impressive like high to low mix with his voice that he hits all the high like how Mario should sound mixed with this like deeper voice, and it works as like, oh, that's his voice. And they describe at the beginning of the movie why they don't always talk like they do in the like all the time. Like they do a little commercial thing at the beginning of the movie where they use like those voices.
Yeah.
And then they talk about it like after the fact, and it's kind of funny. So they get you with that right away. And everybody else's voices, I mean, Seth Rogen's Donkey Kong worked for me.
What about Jack Black?
Jack, dude, you know, you've probably heard the song already.
I haven't heard the song, but I know there is a song.
No, it's good.
Once you hear it, you'll hear it everywhere.
I'm glad he's
definitely steals the show.
Getting back to his Tenacious D roots.
Definitely steals the show.
People forget Jack Black's a musician.
From time to time.
From time to time.
Not in this. I mean, he nailed his Bowser in these songs, man. There's a specific song. Oh my gosh! As soon as it started going, I was laughing. Like, there's so many jokes in this movie that it's like you're either gonna think it's funny, or you don't. It's got that kind of humor. Like either this works for you or it doesn't. And for me, it hit. I mean, I barely laughed.
Our Australian friends did not.
They did not like it. They did not. They did
friends
not
of
like
the show, Mr. Sunday Movies. Yeah.
Yeah, buddies of ours.
Yeah. One day.
Yeah. One day. But they didn't like it.
We'll do a cross episode.
But it worked for me. Wouldn't that be something? Every time. And we saw it in 3D, and that made it a little extra fun too. Like there's so many, like the kind of humor for me that lands that the movie has. It's like you almost miss it. It's always these little subtle, not even supposed to be really part of the scene going on type of jokes that they throw in. For instance, there's this moment where like Mario and Peach are having this like kind of like personal but epic speech on a hill, and it's like they're looking in the distance, and this like little epic tune is kind of playing, like this romantic but like little, and like as the scene's fading out, you slowly just see Toad like playing the song that you've been hearing the whole time on it, and it gets me, man. Like that kind of shit cracks me up. So, and on that level, it really worked for me. The characters really worked for me. Is it a perfect movie? No. But, like I said, it's an hour and a half. And it does... Like, I think they can make a better sequel if they really want to try to do a good plot. It's not an animated film. Like, a lot of animated films these days, they move you. You know what I mean? They seem to be the biggest movers. When you see them, it's like, holy fuck. Like, How to Train Your Dragon 2, babe.
Amazing.
Don't even talk to me about
Tears.
that.
She was mad at me. She was so sad at how good that movie was. Mario doesn't do that.
Spunk it up.
Mario doesn't do anything even
They all
remotely
can't be
close
How
to
to
that.
Train Your Dragon 2s.
It is a kid movie that's, you know, just for kids and kind of for the adults. It's a love letter. It's a love letter to Mario. The only gripe I have with the whole movie, the only gripe,
What is it?
post-credit scene.
Oof.
I'm
They
gonna
did a
spoil.
Marvel.
I'm gonna spoil something for you here.
Yeah, spoil it.
Because who cares? I'm sorry if you haven't seen the movie yet. Not a big deal, because like I said, story, not a big part of these
Yeah, skip
movies.
through the timestamp.
So, there's a scene in the movie where it's kind of a montage scene as Toad, Mario, and Peach are going to the Donkey Kong Kingdom, and you just kind of see the landscape of the Mushroom Kingdom, and it's scenes of different characters. At one point, a herd of Yoshi run by, and it's kind of a cool little scene. So the post-credit scene, after we wait, because there was one post-credit scene, and it just went to Bowser singing again, and that was fun. But we wait through all the like credits to see another scene. And earlier in the movie, it's Peach and Bowser's wedding, and somebody brings a Yoshi egg. It's like there's many Mario gifts. One of the gifts is a Yoshi egg. You kind of just see it on the screen. Didn't think anything of it when I saw it really, because there were so many Mario things around. It might as well be a Yoshi egg.
Right.
So the post-credit scene opens. The Yoshi egg. It's shaking. It's cracking. And it cracks like it's about to, like it hatches. And then the screen goes black. And then you just hear, Yoshi! You know, like the Yoshi voice.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, why the fuck not at least show him?
Show 'em, yeah.
You've already, we know who Yoshi is.
To make you go see the sequel.
But I've already seen a Yoshi. Like, that was the part that drove me mad. I was like, I saw tons of Yoshi earlier in the movie.
Right.
Why
Is
are we...
Yoshi gonna
why,
look different?
If this is the post-credit scene, just show Yoshi pop out, and it's the same thing, but you get to see Yoshi.
Yeah, missed opportunity.
That was my only gripe. I was like, just show him. You've already shown him.
You know what he looks like.
So that was kind of like, okay.
So that's Mario's Yoshi.
It would be the green Yoshi, I assume.
Other than
I'm not
green
sure.
Yoshi.
I can't. There was a herd of them. They were all different colors. I can't confirm or deny that there was a green Yoshi in that herd. But yes, I mean, it will be Mario's Yoshi, which I'm sure will. But now, like, what? Does Yoshi talk? Does Yoshi get a voice actor in the upcoming movie? Or since they've already established that he
Who
goes,
already said that Yoshi?
you're the same person that always says Yoshi. It was the Yoshi voice, you know?
Ah.
The cliche. So do you just keep using that? I think you do. I think with Yoshi,
Yeah, don't make Yoshi talk.
don't make Yoshi talk.
That'd be weird.
Other than that, you see that SNL with Pedro Pascal as Mario?
No.
They do a whole like bit. And it's like making complex characters the only way HBO knows how. It's this guy like just dressed up. He's like, I'm Yoshi. And I'm a bisexual. And then he cuts this out. He's just like, I'm Toad. And I'm a bisexual. So funny. But, so, I'd give Mario like an 8 out of 10. I enjoyed it.
Well,
I liked it.
I
think if you're a Mario fan, go see it. It's the Mario movie.
Right.
I hope they make a universe out of this. I hope it goes somewhere. At least see a sequel. I hope they do Yoshi's Island or something, since Yoshi was the post-credit scene without showing Yoshi. That's the thing. If that's not a tease to being like, the next movie's Yoshi-oriented, then it's just a stupid fucking post-credit scene.
Right. Yoshi's gonna be in it at least.
I mean, I love me some Yoshi. Yoshi's my favorite Mario character. So.
Mine's Luigi.
Yeah. I figured you tall, lanky fuck.
Yep.
No, Yoshi.
And Italian.
Brooklynese, I think you mean.
Brooklynese.
Mario!
I was a bit disappointed to find out that Chris Pratt did not attempt a bad Italian accent. I think that would have just been funnier.
They kind of play off of that. They do a thing like that. But they're like, here's the thing, man. I'm Italian. Do I have a fucking, like,
No.
Italians are known to live in Brooklyn.
Yeah, but what's
in America.
dialect?
Yeah. So, I don't know. Giving an Italian a Brooklyn accent is fine, because in America, like, the fucking Godfather, they're Italians. They're from Brooklyn. I guess they all speak more Italianese, but they're from New York. They would, maybe not when the Godfather is based in, but modern day Godfather
Later
people
on, yeah.
have Brooklyn accents. For fucking sure. So, I don't know. I never cared about any of that kind of shit. I'm a privileged white male, so who cares?
Just imagining here.
Oh yeah, I know. I feel so bad about it. I do, but I don't. So he hates it. Apparently, it's not the best sound in a mic is people eating shit. But listen, guys, we're smoking weed and doing a podcast. I'm gonna eat something.
It's like a mukbang.
A what?
It's like a mukbang. You know what those are?
Mm-mm.
It's like where people watch people eat food. Like videos.
That's weird.
Yeah, it's super weird, but it's a thing.
I'd never go out of my way to watch somebody eat. Well, that's not entirely true.
Yeah, it's just they'll order a big thing of food.
That's weird.
Film themselves eating it.
Fucking hurricane coming in here. You feeling that gusto in?
Yeah, it's breezy.
Watch
that
your nipples,
like
man.
that
They'll
Spider-Man
get
fragrance.
crystal hard from this
Hear the rain?
wind. Yeah, it's like Katrina out there.
Yeah.
Exactly like Katrina.
My ex-wife, not.
A hurricane.
Okay.
Alright.
Now, was there anything else you wanted to bring up for tonight?
Don't got much more now.
Quick note on me, real quick. I just want to tell progress where progress has been made. Beat Resident Evil 4.
Right.
Started it the last podcast. Just finished it yesterday.
Finished. And what did you think?
Loved it.
Yep, I've heard nothing but good things about
Intense
Resident Evil 4.
game all the way through.
That's what scares me. I still can't really do scary games too much.
Yeah. It has scary moments, but once you become confident. As you get new guns and shit, like, you're going into scary situations where you're like, I can handle whatever scary shit comes at me.
Yeah, killed them.
And it's challenging. I mean, I was literally, the last, level, before it went to the final boss fight, I finished it with literally, out of all my guns, one bullet left.
Nice.
It was intense.
Symbolic.
Dude, I didn't know it was going to be the end of the game either. I went into the next room just like, what the fuck am I supposed to do with one goddamn bullet to my name? And then, it all worked out. But,
Right.
Yeah. Yeah, so just, wanted to talk about that I finished it and that I got a PlayStation 4, PlayStation 5. I don't know if it's on PC or not. Might be, might not be. It is. It's on Steam. I've seen it on Steam. Play it. It's fucking awesome.
Play it.
It's a classic remade into what I believe will be considered the best way to play that classic from here on forward. Yeah, spooky. And, yeah, so I beat that. Gonna start Final Fantasy VII, see where I get with that. Star Wars game comes out in a couple weeks, so that's my next big one to tackle.
Well, wonderful.
Mm-hmm.
Is that the Fallen Order one?
Mm-hmm.
I might get that too. It looks good.
Looks really good.
That's like the kid from Shameless. Like the,
Mm-hmm.
yeah. He always kind of freaked me out, just his look.
Yeah, but he's not a kid anymore. He's an adult guy.
That's the ginger.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean... you know, if there's a sound for gingers, it's... It's some kind of, like, goblin noise.
Yeah. Rusty would know.
Oh, sorry, buddy. You're ginger, and you're kind of ringing all the time. Is what he says. Yeah, Rusty is more about... He's a grunter.
Aren't we all?
Yeah, that's true. Okay.
So?
Okay. Now let's get wiggity wiggity whack. Up in this biggity batch. Talk about...
The hippie
God.
hobbyist.
Yes, the hippie hobbyist.
Step Up 2.
I almost said Just Dance. Hold on. Whoa, Braden. Slow your roll. We don't get into Step Up 2 until we... Okay. I gotta just give everybody the heads up on this one. So Braden and I decided over Christmas, over New Year's, that we were gonna watch different series that we enjoyed and then review them on this podcast. And Braden selected the the Step Up series to me. Why can't I get that? And so I was like, all right, we'll watch these movies. I watched the first movie about a month or so ago. I text Braden as I'm watching it. I'm just like, hey, just wanted you to know I started like watching the first Step Up movie. This is the movie series that he has picked for me to watch. It's one of his favorite movie series, and he says back to me, "Oh, I've never even seen the first one." It's like, how the fuck?
Step Up starts at Step Up 2.
It doesn't though. It starts at Step Up 1 because I watched Step Up 1, and Step Up 1's the first one that came out. So Step Up 1 is gonna be the first one we talk about here tonight.
Alright, so what do you think of Step Up 1?
Okay.
Give us your synopsis.
So, my whole... how do I want to put this? My whole posture, my whole... what's the word I'm looking for?
I don't know.
My whole...
I can't imagine.
How I looked watching this movie.
Oh, okay.
My...
Aura?
I don't know. Something like that. That energy remained the same throughout the entire movie, and that was nobody can really see me, but it was kind of like I'm laying down, but like I'm leaning up. I'm on one elbow. It's holding my face, and I kind of have like a smirk throughout the whole thing. It's like this. There's big moments, I get into the plot. I get into like we were talking the whole time. But I always had this sense of just like, I'm watching an early 2000s kind of romantic...
Yeah, it's like a romance.
Romance movie, teen movie, that the driving force is dance.
Yes.
And it's a little ridiculous, and...
Very ridiculous at times.
It's a little over the top. Channing Tatum's there.
Yep,
He's the main character. So that was good. Immediately seeing Channing Tatum, I was like...
Thank God,
familiar.
someone I know. An adult in the room.
That's what I thought.
Someone competent
dancing,
is here,
like,
so this might not be a bad thing.
Right, this is definitely like his first fucking movie.
Oh yeah, it's early in his career.
But I know where he gets to, and I like him, so I'm just like, I will do this for you, Channing Tatum. And it was one of those movies that, you finish it and you're just like, you had a good time. Like,
yeah,
was it a great movie?
It's an entertaining movie.
No, it wasn't like... No, it is entertaining. Was it like a was it an Oscar... No, it's not. It's just a movie.
No, it's like a popcorn movie.
It is a popcorn movie. But I really did...
Nothing profound about it.
I did like it for what it was.
Yeah, well, good. And that's what you have to do with these movies.
Channing Tatum's character kind of won me over. The female, I don't know. I wish I knew her name, whether be in the movie or in real life.
Honestly, the female character is pretty... whatever the main character's opposite is usually pretty underdeveloped.
She had a dream to like go and dance, and her mom wanted her to go to college, like it was the end of the world, to like go to college, and she had the option to go to like these really good colleges, and it was just like talk about like a white privilege type of movie. Like, I don't want to go to fucking Harvard, I want to dance.
Yeah.
like, that's what I want. So she's mad about that. So that made her kind of like less compelling of a character.
It's like, can't really relate to
No,
this.
no, not at all. Not at all.
Whereas Channing Tatum is from the streets. So
he is from the streets. He's from the streets.
Because we're also of the streets.
You and me?
Yeah. Sure.
More of the streets than we are of, like...
Than she was.
Exactly.
Right.
Exactly. Like, you know... Like, she hits the cross... The button to make the crosswalk thing. Be like, you can walk now. We just fucking go. Right. Any traffic coming? No, go. Fuck, why do I wait for a button?
Street control. Yeah, we control the street.
So that's kind of Channing Tatum. And, there's a few, like, funny scenes in the movie. One of which is... it's funny because it's in all seriousness, too.
Yeah.
It's like...
They're very sincere.
Yeah, but it just makes me laugh at it more. So, he's like on his first day. So, a little context, Channing Tatum and his boys, his boy and his boy's little brother break into this school at night and, like, fuck around in it. And they get busted. And Channing Tatum sacrifices himself for his black buddies because he knows if his black buddies get caught, they're going straight to jail.
Yeah.
But Channing Tatum
Social
gets
commentary.
caught, and it's slightest. I mean, 2002 how to handle that better.
Yeah.
And it's slightest. And he gets busted, and his punishment is he has to go and do like so much community service at the school that he vandalized. And while he's there, he's watching this dance thing. He's paying attention to it. It cuts to a scene where his boys roll up to like meet him at like his lunch or something, and they just start fucking like breaking it down in the parking lot.
Just start dancing.
Dancing. Like as if like how you and I get together and we chat, we smoke weed, hang out, we watch a movie, we do this podcast. They just fucking dance outside of their car. For no reason. It's so ridiculous.
That's how they hang out.
But it's funny. It is funny. But it's serious. So, and, like, while this is happening, the main girl character, her, like, dance partner gets injured. So he can't, like, participate with her. She's kind of seen Channing Tatum around. He's the janitor guy. She's
he's like that weird guy.
I want to bang him, but I'm disgusted by him at that point in the
he's
movie.
From the streets.
Yeah.
She's a rich girl.
She's walking by the window while this dance is happening, and she sees it like, oh, this motherfucker can bust move. And they make like eye contact because remember it's a love story,
right?
And she moves, and he takes his shirt off and dances or something. I can't remember.
Yeah, and then honestly, that's true to life. All Channing Tatum really needed to do was just take his shirt off.
Yeah.
To get most women.
He already had her before that. He had her. She still was disgusted by him. Yeah, you saw that she's
very sexually
he had her.
Yeah.
He had her the whole time. She had a boyfriend that ended up sucking later in the end. Real easy. I was like, man, how are they going to get this boyfriend character out of the way for Channing Tatum? Super easy. Like, just like
completely unsympathetic.
He is an asshole.
Yeah.
And it just is an asshole.
Way to do it.
Okay, sure.
They weren't going down the route of let's have social commentary on cheaters.
He's not even really around half the movie. I'm also just kind of like
trust us, he sucks.
Yeah.
You want Channing Tatum to bone his girlfriend.
You do, and he's got that the whole time.
Because it's Channing Tatum,
and that's
in his prime.
Because it's also a love story, so you know where the beats are going, and it's just like I said, really funny. In the long run, he dances with her to help be her dance partner. He convinces her, he convinces the runner of the school,
a shaky alliance,
to be like, hey, let me do this for my community service, help in this way. So he does. It's a whole movie. Like I said, there's ups and downs. There's a moment where they break up and
freaking bone this chick.
And it's so stupid. It's so fucking stupid though in ways that the plot progresses.
Oh, it's very dumb.
But it makes sense in the sense of because another comment we made is Channing Tatum is 28 in this movie playing a 17-year-old. They're all high school age kids that
very clearly.
So when they do things that are really dramatic or over the top that you don't believe could ever really happen, you're well, remember they are 17-year-olds, so this could happen.
Yeah, that's true. It's just odd because we know that they're adults. Our brain knows that we're looking at adults.
Right. So it's hard when you're watching these things. But when I saw these moments happen, because there's a crisis in the middle of the movie. They're makes her and Channing Tatum like fight and not talk,
Yeah.
and it's so stupid. Like the thing that she's mad about, like all they'd have to do is talk about it a little, and like it would be fine.
Yeah.
But it's just over the top, and then they split for a little bit of the movie.
Yeah. But just remind yourself, like, if you ever wonder if that's what they would actually do, like, just read any 17-year-old's text messages.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and like.
Not that I read a bunch of 17-year-olds text messages.
But I also remember being one too, so it's like, I get it,
If you read through my text messages when I was 17, I was not...
Exactly.
Having mature conversations.
And neither are these people. Neither are Channing Tatum at the age of 27, maybe, playing a 17-year-old boy. That, like, they go to these... That's another thing. It's always got, like, these kids that are at, like, like bars as if adults would be like, yeah, whatever, you can dance and shit, you can hang out with us. No, adults would be like,
get the fuck out of here.
Out of here, we're gonna get in so much fucking trouble.
The liquor control.
But instead they have a fucking dance off in the middle of the club, and
they can stay. They're cool.
It's crazy.
They're cool teenagers.
Oh my god, it's something else. But overall, the first one is a more plot. They did plot first, dance included. You know what I mean? The type of love story. Channing Tatum gets the girl at the end, and there is this scene. That's the thing though. Like out of nowhere, it got really serious. Like out of nowhere, it got so
tonal shift. Yeah.
Because it's never like overly like happy or sad or anything. It's just
It definitely takes itself seriously.
It takes itself seriously,
dance story,
and I think that's
primarily a romance.
Why this was kind of funny, but also like heartbreaking to me too. So like, there's this character. Channing Tatum has these two friends that are like from his street gang.
Yeah.
It's his boy and his boy's like little brother, and they go to a party. The Channing Tatum and his friend, and the little brother like breaks out of his house to like follow them there, like to go there. And I can't even remember what happens. He fucks with, like, one of the other gangsters that you meet in the movies, like, car at one point, and, like, on his way to this party that he's not even supposed to be at, his mom was like, don't fucking go to that party, and she told the brother, like, don't let him come with you, like, anywhere, you don't leave this house. This fucking, like, truck just drives by from this gangster, and they just drive by, shoot this fucking kid, like, just cap the shit out of him. And he falls on the ground and you're like, oh my god, is he dead? And the scene just fades into the funeral scene, like, immediately after, and you're like, oh my fucking god, they just killed this kid with, like, literally 15 minutes left of the movie.
Drive-by child murder in this movie.
Totally. And the mom, like, hates the son now because he, it's his fault that the little kid followed. Like, it's this big dramatic shift. And somehow, in a way, they tie it into being like, dude, Channing Tatum, you gotta go fucking dance. It's what he wants. You know what I mean? Like, it's crazy. And then it ends with just a big dance number and everything's, good in the world. Channing Tatum gets the girl.
Yeah.
And it's good dancing. It's solid dancing. It ain't dancing like I saw today. It's certainly not that.
So you see what I mean, how it evolves from Step Up 1 to Step Up 2 to be... to have the romance take a backseat and having dance be the primary focus.
Well, the romance is
there. It's still a core part of the plot, but dance is definitely more centerpiece in this.
Right.
Thematically.
So we are making the jump to Step Up to the streets.
Well, as you know, I've never seen Step Up 1, so I don't have much to say about it. Okay. Other than... I think Step Up 2 is superior.
You should watch Step Up 1 before you make that opinion.
Yeah, well, we'll decide that in the future.
I agree with you in ways, and I disagree with you in ways.
Alright. I will say, they never pull Channing Tatum's talent again after Step Up 2, and he only has a very brief cameo in it.
I was surprised to see him in it. I
think he was they had to throw him in there to be like, yes, this is connected to the other movie.
They really did, yeah. He is just shoehorned into the second one.
And the future Step Up movies, because there is Step Up 3, and Step Up 4, and I believe there's also a Step Up 5.
I think there's a 5, but I don't think it's as connected, I've heard.
I think it's different characters completely, but the other...
I think it's an entirely Japanese-produced movie.
Yeah, the other 4 are loosely connected, like there's overlapping characters.
That's good.
Yeah.
So kind of some
So you see new faces again. Moose, my favorite character, shows up in most. He becomes the main character. I think he's the main character of Step Up 3.
Shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
Him.
Yeah. And he also gets jacked. Like he's still like a skinny, wiry guy, but like he puts on a lot of muscle.
Well, I'm now more compelled to watch Step Up 3 knowing that he's the main character of it.
Yeah, and his girlfriend in it is also...
The girl from this movie?
No, they
break up.
They break up. But he starts dating a girl who, I forget her name, but she was on like either a Nickelodeon series or a Disney Channel series, but she's like famous somewhat. But she's his girlfriend in this movie.
That's so interesting. Well, we'll have to get into that.
Yeah.
We'll do another thing where I watch 3 and 4.
Yep.
And we'll talk about those two, but, well...
So Step Up 2 is my favorite in the Step Up series. Not necessarily because the dancing is the best, because I do think...
Of the 3 that he's seen, he hasn't seen the first one.
Because I do think the other Step Up movies have some very good dance scenes. Like, they definitely top themselves in certain ways. But I just like the story of this one, and it's very simple plot, but like you follow it the entire time. The characters are pretty likable for what you see of them, for the screen time they're given. And
They do give you a nice cast.
there's a nice amount of corniness to make it funny, and like bad acting to make it like good bad, like one of those good bad movies, where it's like definitely not a masterpiece, but
Could be a lot worse.
Could be a lot worse, and
That's our review.
It manages to endear you to it because it's done completely sincerely, but you can very much tell that all of the actors in this are primarily dancers and not primarily actors, because the acting is rough in certain scenes.
The main people can act.
Yeah.
For the most part.
For the most part. Nothing special, but again...
Nothing that you're questioning. But there are some side characters that...
Yeah.
I mean, borderline, like... Well, what are we supposed to do?
Yeah, NPCs, like...
but they can dance.
They can... God damn, can they dance.
Well said.
Yeah. But no, it's great. The dance scenes are compelling, and it gets me pumped every time. I've seen that final dance scene, the one, like the last big one. I showed you that one, I think, initially.
Luckily, I forgot it mostly.
Yeah,
I saw it tonight.
And it's more impactful because now you know who everyone is.
For sure, yeah.
Yeah, it makes more sense. But I've seen that scene so many times that I've noticed, like, multiple filming inconsistencies with it.
Oh, you've talked about this before.
Yeah, like...
People in, like, different clothes.
We could go back and analyze the parts just one time, because it's really quick, but once you notice it, you can't stop noticing it. But, like, you could clearly tell that they filmed on 2 different days and spliced the filming together. Or at least had 2 different shots that they spliced together, because in one shot, one of the guys has a hoodie on, like a white hoodie, and it cuts, and in the next shot, he doesn't have the hoodie on, but they're still in, like, the same dance. Yeah. And it cuts again, he has the white hoodie on again, and then it cuts again, he doesn't have the white hoodie on.
Yeah, once you notice it, it's over.
Yeah, and I'm like, oh, like, they filmed on 2 different days.
Well, the dancing is so intense.
You don't notice it.
You don't.
That's just. I noticed that after like probably my 5th time watching it.
That's fair.
I'm just like, oh, that's wrong. And there's also, it's not just that guy. Like, there's a few times where like people are wearing like jackets and then not wearing jackets, or hats and then not wearing hats.
Dude, I can't blame them. But that is something they should have done a little better job keeping up with.
Yeah, you think they would have caught it, but it might have been a situation where it was like that was the best shot that they got.
We gotta use that.
Yeah.
With the dance, like, because I want to get to that part too. If you go to me, say, what do I think of the movie?
What did you think of the movie?
I looked at it with kind of the same lens as I watched the first one. Like I said, that same demeanor. I was always kind of smiling at it. It was taking itself so seriously that I couldn't.
Yeah.
So I was always grinning.
And that's one of my favorite aspects.
We were joking the whole movie.
It wouldn't be as funny.
We were talking half the movie while watching it, but
it wouldn't be as funny if it knew what it was, or if it like made fun of itself.
Mm-hmm.
I like that it takes itself completely seriously.
Yeah.
Because it makes like the cringe acting and stuff funnier to me.
Right.
Because again,
it does help the movie.
I don't view this as like cinema.
Mm.
I view this as like a very funny popcorn movie
Mm-hmm.
that you can make fun of certain parts, but also enjoy other
I'll
parts.
admit, at the beginning I was worried. The way, like I said, the cinematography did not work for me at first. Like, the way it looked, the way, like, I felt like I was never gonna... The characters, the first, like, 2 scenes were not characters to me. They were all these, like, caricatures, and, like, the way it was filmed, it just didn't seem like they could connect to one another, and then finally it kind of started catching more
and
plot.
you said, like, the opening scene was shot like a music video.
It looked like a music video.
Which it was intentional because they were making a music video in the opening scene for that
That's
competition.
fair. But it was even when they were done, like, they were, like, up on the roof talking to each other, and I was like...
It takes a while to settle into
it still looks like a music video.
Yeah,
But it did figure... It did
they stopped getting
that didn't bother
crazy
me.
after.
That wasn't even something that really bothered me. It was just something I noticed at first. I did really like this movie. I don't know where I'd put it, because I feel like it and the other one are neck and neck, because they're just better in some ways and different in others.
Like, one has Channing Tatum, who is an A-list actor.
I know him.
Yeah, you know him.
I know that guy.
He's an A-list
Somebody
actor.
here I know.
You also find out that he can dance.
I didn't know anybody in that movie.
Yeah,
But I got to know them, I felt.
Like I said, you can tell that for the second movie they decided to go with a direction of, let's not put a bunch of money on, like...
Just dance.
Upcoming and just dance.
Step up.
We'll hire out dancers. They won't be great actors, but we can probably hire them for cheap, because I don't think dancers make a bunch of money. And have, like, an ensemble...
Less than actors, yeah.
Yeah.
And chair. Pop so much. Yeah. And they could dance, which is
damn could they dance.
They were so it's kind of like, yeah, everybody in Step Up 1 definitely can dance, but like the dancing in this fits the tone so much better that like it just seems like everybody's a much better dancer.
Much more intense. Like the cinematography is really good during the dance scenes. Like you can track what's going on.
I did like the part where she like danced like a street dancer to like modern, like not modern, but like, you know what I mean, more classical music. Because that like showed how goofy that dancing does kind of look if it's not to the right music.
Right.
So
they made that clear.
Yes, and luckily the rest of the movie they were like,
and there's like that
here's music that works with this
whole hidden theme of like, you know, conflict of style. Like is hip hop street dancing as legitimate of an art form as the classics?
Right, because the whole first movie, Channing Tatum teaches at school that, like, it does work, but then we go to the future where, like...
They didn't learn anything.
They didn't learn anything from the first movie. They're like, I don't like
the
this
furthest
creature.
it got him was some influence to set up an audition for her.
Yes. Before it was even achievable, he was like, I got you the audition.
Yeah.
Did you ask?
No, not yet.
I've been with you the whole time. Did I ask? No.
We've been hanging out together this whole night.
The whole time. That's the thing. The movie's full of just like funny things that you can call it out for.
Yeah, and you saw I was making fun of it the whole time because there's a lot to make fun of.
That was half the fun of the movie was us
charm.
joking around while it was on.
Well, and that's why I like to watch movies like this, where like they're not necessarily great movies, but there's things that you can be entertained by, whether it's like making fun of them for how bad it is, or enjoying the really good parts.
It went places with characters that I never.
I watched the Step Up.
Expected?
Yeah, I watched the Step Up movies primarily for the dancing. And do they deliver on the dancing?
Are you asking me that?
Yes.
So, the dancing. Throughout the whole movie, you are bombarded, I suppose is a good word, with dancing scenes and people practicing dancing and people people just performing dancing. The movie starts with them just
This is a
that
dance
opening
movie. Yeah.
scene.
This is
they're
about
on
dance.
a bus and like everybody looks like they're not together on the bus, but then basically they all are a gang of just people that just break out into dance.
Street dance.
The police are after them for
Dance
this. Dance gang. So like they set that tone very quickly. And you get all these really awesome dance scenes. And off of that, sorry about that, everybody. I'll say this. The movie builds its dance scenes very, very well.
Yeah.
till finally it crescendos at the end. Because I'll tell you what, the whole movie, we are kind of joking and talking the whole time. We're watching, but we're joking and talking the whole time. It got to that final dance, and the room was silent.
Yeah, we were dead silent.
It was just us all completely captivated and witnessing this dance routine. And I almost laughed in that. Like, when I noticed that, I almost struggled, but it was so solid that I really was just like,
It pulls you in.
I gotta just sit here and watch this very impressive, kind of out of, like, the thing that does take me out of it is, like, they're all really good dancers, but at no point in the movie have they even possibly shown at any of their practices or anything they've done thus far.
They did show their practices.
The last show they did together, though, they fucking
They're terrible.
sucked. And there's not a whole lot of practicing between that point and this one. And then out of nowhere, they fucking slay. Like, in the rain. People just play music out of their car and they're like, oh yeah, to this dance routine of these songs that we didn't pick. Let's just fucking wreck the show. Like, holy shit. So that was a little ridiculous. There were too many factors that I was just like, they just have this. But it was good.
They gave the guy their tape
of
their routine.
Okay, so they...
Yeah.
Okay.
I think they planned that whole thing.
That's good. I hope so.
Yeah, but
They planned
it gets crazy. And one of the things that, like, is tough to figure out with the movie is that it doesn't really make it known how much time is passing. You know time is passing because there are several montage scenes to indicate passing of time.
That is true. Like, how long is she at that school? Could have been a week.
We have no clue because the seasons don't change. It's Baltimore. The seasons don't change. It's summer the entire time. She's wearing a crop top the whole movie. Mm-hmm. So it has to not be, like, a radical amount of time. Like, it's not like Harry Potter, like, we're not seeing them in their winter gear.
I feel like it's 3 weeks tops.
Yeah.
That's the vibe I got. A week is really what I got. But
we really don't know how quickly all of these events happened, because it does not make it known. And I think that's intentional. They didn't want to dive into that.
It's not important.
No. At the end of the day,
it's all about the dance. We have, but, I mean, it is all about the dance. And they certainly... Everybody's just dancing. That's the thing. In these movies... People are just dancing for no fucking reason at all.
And it's a good underdog story. It makes you feel for the characters. It makes the antagonist acceptably unlikable.
Yeah, they never try to, like, redeem him either. Like, because he's I guess he's never really not a bad guy. Because even at the beginning of the movie, he's her friend, but, like...
He's very intense.
He is. But originally you're like, oh, these are her friends, though. These are her friends.
Yeah.
They never are friends again by the end. Like, there's no, like, the black guy doesn't come up to them at the end and be like, sorry about that. Yeah. The movie just, I mean, it's one of those movies that, like, the dance ends.
They're gone, yeah.
The characters wrap up their little small stories. Some of them don't. And, because they just don't have a story at all. And then it's just over. They kiss. And it's done. That's the end.
Happily ever after.
No post credits. Just like that's the end of the story.
Do you want to know a spoiler for future Step Up movies?
I don't know. How big of a spoiler?
It's not that big.
Sure.
So Chase, one of the titular characters.
Okay. Who? Which one? Which one of the titular characters?
Chase, Collins.
Yeah, I'm listening. Oh, yes, Chase Collins.
Yeah, the main guy character. Mm-hmm. Love Boat. School shooter vibe.
Yeah, school shooter vibe.
Big time.
20 minutes of the movie.
Yeah, it gives off some Unabomber vibes.
And then just cleans his act up real quick.
From
Unabomber to
boy
Prince.
band.
Jesse McCartney.
To Harry Styles.
Like that.
Jesse McCartney's a good one.
Thanks.
Where was I going with this?
Okay, him. About the third step up, or maybe the fourth?
Oh, yeah, the spoiler. They do not stay together. And he is never in the movies again. But she is.
Mm.
And she ends up dating, not Moose, but a main character of one of the other Step Up movies.
Jesus Christ, I don't need that kind of... I hate that kind of shit. I just sat through their love story.
Step Up All In, where it's all the cast from all the different Step Up movies.
I'm about all out.
They all dance.
Together.
Like
an Avengers movie together. Of Step Ups.
It's literally the Avengers movie of Step Up. I can't wait till you get to that one.
Is Channing Tatum there?
No, they don't bring Channing Tatum back.
What about the girl from the first movie?
To understand, at this point, the Step Up franchise was peaking. like it was hitting its decline, and Channing Tatum was
I
at the
think that
height
was
of his
the first
career.
movie.
Channing Tatum was at the height of his career at that point.
He wasn't coming back.
No, they weren't. I'm sure they asked. I am sure they asked.
They attempted. They got a hold of some people.
But then I'm sure he gave them his.
Channing Tatum's like, I'll only go back to Magic Mike, but that's it.
Right.
Huh. That's okay. I mean, it would make it all the better if he was there, but I do understand why he's not in it. None of these people are
very much a budget.
He would be a diamond in the rough.
Oh yeah.
In that movie, probably. That's cool. I'll like I said, there's only 2 more that I gotta watch.
Right.
So we'll get there. Miranda loves these movies, so I will be getting through them. Maybe we'll watch 3 and then we'll do another together thing for 4 or something. I don't know. Or maybe we'll watch both of them.
Don't forget Step Up Revolution.
Dance Revolution.
There is a Step Up Revolution.
Revolution.
You want to guess what it's about?
Okay, yeah. Let me think. There's so through dance, they have to overcome some sort of I'd hate to say governmental power, but something that's like putting them down. They're okay.
It's protesting.
It's okay. Protesting. Yeah. Okay.
They have to protest against the government through dance.
Nice. Oh God, what was the government trying to stop?
Trying to demolish a neighborhood, like a historic, like a cultural.
I thought it was going to try to demolish dancing.
Yeah, it's Footloose. Discover they outlawed it. There's too many dance gangs roaming the streets, terrorizing old white men on subways.
I mean, that was the beginning of this movie.
I really wish the old grandpa would have had the mask.
If he would have put that mask on and started dancing, I would have been like, all right, sold.
Yeah. But no, yeah, Step Up Revolution is they have to protest against the government and do a bunch of dances on trespassing property. It's very good.
I'm looking forward to it.
But it's also with completely different characters.
I've kind of accepted that that's how these movies just go.
Yeah, you just understand they're all a part of the same Step Up universe. It's just that like there's dance revolutions happening.
It's like the Cinderella story movies.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? There's like 5 different Cinderella story incarnations. They're all part of like a similar unit, but they're different characters.
Right.
Or like the American Pies that aren't the original couple American Pies.
Oh yeah, there's some weird
just
ones
like
out
random. That's how I see these Step Up movies. Movies that went straight to DVD.
Right.
You know?
Right.
I think the first one was a theater release, but I don't think the other ones are.
But yeah. You think you're gonna keep watching them?
I'll keep watching. I mean, why not? I had fun.
I tell you what, like you know how that you said that they upped the ante with dance scenes in this one.
I can't
They
wait.
continue to do that, but like through movies they up the.
I hope they do, because honestly,
like the ending dance scene has to always be bigger than the last.
Because you had shown me the second movie's ending dance scene like a year or so ago, and I'd seen it before. I went into this one expecting like all of the dancing to be to that level, and it wasn't until that. So I'm hoping they'll come the third one. They're all like, there's more to that level. Because I kind of want more of that.
You can tell they get, more of the dancing talent.
It's kind of going in the direction of our Kung Fu movie marathon, where like the Kung Fu slowly got like...
escalating.
It went from like, well, I guess if we would have watched Kung Pao first, it would have went from like Kung Pao to like that type of karate to, what's the one? Balls of Fury, or not Balls of Fury, Kick, Feet of... What the fuck was the one?
Kung Fu Hustle.
Kung Fu Hustle. So, like, the Kung Fu got a little more intense than that, and then the third one was just, like, balls to the wall intensity.
The Raid, yeah.
And then the fourth one we watched was just intense, gruesome, crazy, non-stop. Like, it just kept escalating, and that's what I want with this dance.
Oh, it will, and that's what will happen. Cool.
I'm looking forward to that. So, all in all, I'd give the first 2 movies I enjoyed them quite a bit. I'm not going to give them a number out of 10, but I had a fun time.
They weren't a regrettable experience.
No.
It's not like a wow, I wish.
I have 2 new movies to think about and talk about.
Yeah.
And there's nothing
more culture.
Yeah, well, I do. I feel like both movies are very cultural.
Yeah, like you learn a lot about dance.
I mean, I see a lot of it. I learn a lot about how, like, there's a subset of society that gets through life
By dancing.
By dancing, I suppose.
We all have our thing, I guess.
We all have our things, yeah. I hope a movie gets made about, like... I don't even know what it is I do that I could say is my activity that would be... You could movie escalate. You could anime up to be more than it is.
Bookmobile adventures.
Okay, so here's what it could be, though. I'm a bookmobile driver, and, like, in each episode, it's a series, I guess, or maybe it's a movie. I get sucked into, like, a book world, and I have to, like, solve...
to get out of it.
The mystery of the book to get out. I've read this book before. What happens next?
Yeah, while learning about the
like
value of learning in books.
Yeah. That could be my thing. Let's get on that.
You gain, like, certain items and friends and stuff along the way that show up in later episodes.
Yeah, it's kind of like Kingdom Hearts.
Yeah.
But I hop around the books.
I think we're onto something here.
I think we are onto something here. I knew this job would pay off.
Yeah. Cool.
So, yeah. I give Step Up and Step Up to the Streets, a movie whose title I've been making fun of since its inception. I always thought the title was funny.
But now I bet you have some respect for the streets after watching what it's actually like for people on the streets.
I have no more respect for the title of the movie to be Step Up, because, like, it was always a play. I always saw it as
Did you want to say one of your favorite lines?
From Step Up 2?
Yeah.
The Streets? What was one of my favorite lines?
Happened near the end.
Oh, Jesus, it's sad that I can't think of it. And I said I was going to quote it, didn't I?
They've gone somewhere.
Oh, fuck.
Where have they gone?
There's literally a character in a scene. So, the dancers, before they go to the big street battle, they had all gotten in trouble for something, and they weren't allowed to dance anymore. And they did this fundraiser, and they end up ditching the fundraiser to go to the streets to dance, right? And the one, like, their dance instructor guy sees that they left, and he's fucking pissed. And the one character, this girl character, you've met her throughout the movie, so she's a character. She's not just somebody that's just there. She almost looks like she's looking at, like, a monitor, like a camera, but she's looking at nothing. She's seeing nothing.
Yeah, she's just in, like, a dressing room.
And she's just maybe looking in the mirror, and she just goes, they went to the streets. Or they're at the streets. That's what it was.
Yeah.
They're at the streets. As if, like, the streets is just, like, a place. Like, like a Walmart.
Right.
They're at the streets. I mean,
but, like, epic sound.
Epic. Like, she's very serious about it. Everybody in the scene is taking it very seriously.
Yeah, very serious looks. From, like, oh shit, things have gotten serious. We have to go to the streets ourselves.
And they do. They do go to the streets.
They follow them into the breach, into the streets.
They step up into the streets.
They step up into the streets to get their students back. Because at the end of the day, he is like one of those, what's his face? Kakashi Sensei type guys. It's like he just wants...
He has that authority,
He just looks after the well-being of his students.
He's a piece of shit the whole movie, and then the last scene they made him, like...
Well, like, the power of dance
respectable.
Changes him.
The power of dance changes him. Yep, he finally sees it more than
he's also mesmerized the entire time. He was mimicking us the whole time with this dance. He was like, they could do this the whole time.
He was just like us, making fun of him the whole movie, like, and all of a sudden, not a word to be said. Fucking pins could be heard if there wasn't hip hop blaring. Yeah, solid
movie.
It's your favorite one. It's your favorite one. Would you say they get better or worse from here on out? That's your favorite one.
They definitely escalate. I don't think any of them are worse. There's some where, like, the plot is a little bit, like, whatever. But, like, the dance is always there.
Jesus.
The dance is always
more
there.
More whatever than what we've already gotten. I can't wait to see.
The acting gets better in some characters and or worse or the same in others.
Fair enough. I'll ask no more. I'll watch, and we'll go from there. But otherwise,
they always keep the dance spirit.
I mean, dude. Different movie if they
don't.
don't.
I wanted to ask you this before we began the podcast. Is there anything else you want to say about Step Up 2 before we go on to a different thing?
No.
This might just be the last thing
Yeah,
we've been talking about. Have you been keeping up with Chainsaw Man?
Oh, the comic?
Yeah.
The manga series? Yes. Yes.
Because it's in a pretty good scene. Like
it's finally picking up.
It's some of the best art I've seen of the manga so
Oh,
far.
art-wise, yeah, definitely. The story. So here's I think
story. It's picking up
since
a
it's
lot,
come
too.
back from like the big break. It's been slow. It's been good slow, but it's been slow. So that for me, that's been tough. Every time a chapter comes out, I don't jump at it, but I do read it. I do check it out.
Yeah.
I do need to read them a little more.
I do think we're gonna appreciate that more in the future when it's all out.
Oh,
because like part one also starts fairly
we
slow.
got lucky and read the whole thing in one go.
Right.
I wish I could do that.
He's building to things. You can tell he's building to things.
Yeah. Nothing
but
wrong
I
with that.
really like what he's been doing with it so far. Especially, have you been reading any of the fight? The fight that's going on.
Oh,
right now?
yeah. I mean, I'm caught up. I've read it.
Oh, you're caught up.
Yeah.
So you know about Falling Devil.
I read a little looser, but like, yeah, I'm
Right.
caught up. Yeah.
Yeah. I just thought it was sick. Like, it just really spoke to the chainsaw aesthetic when he was chainsawing his brains to prevent a mental attack.
Dude, yeah, fantastic. That was a pretty awesome scene. And like you said,
Just
the
like
artwork,
his,
him coming
Yeah.
in, it's like finally, like, luckily Denji's been around. There was a chance at the beginning, or not a chance, but at the beginning when the first chapter was coming out, I was like, oh my god, are we ever going to see Denji? And he's been kind of not used as much. And I feel like now we're really getting him now that he's fighting.
I really like the decision, though, and I think it's going to lead to some really cool things down the road of having, like, a secondary female protagonist now.
Sure, yeah.
And having it be the, her devil power is the war devil.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that's equally as interesting, I think. And her devil power is also really cool, like how it works with ownership and weapons and stuff.
Yeah.
It has a lot of potential.
Yeah, I'm interested to see where they go with her character for sure. That's the thing about a lot of Swag watched the first season of Chainsaw Man and he wasn't really impressed by it. Like he liked it, but he wasn't. And I was just like, well, I don't think anything really does happen that far
Not
in the series
much,
that should impress you the way it's one of those ones that like if the first season you liked, keep going, and if it didn't hit you just right, I still recommend to keep going because it is. Like I said, luckily we got to read the entire first part, the first 100 chapters.
It's a fantastic story when you read it all the way through.
Yeah.
It can be slow in parts if you're reading it in chunks.
Yeah.
Or watching it in chunks.
Yeah. Big fan. Tuesday mornings they drop, and they're quick chapters too. It's like it takes not very much time to read an entire chapter of Chainsaw Man.
But the artwork that we've been getting has been really good. I think it's been the most chainsaw-y style. Like, I don't know, the specific style he's trying to go for, I think he's really capturing it now. Just kind of it's a different type of shonen manga
Sorry, but the artwork of him in the latest chapter, it's like parts of his body are like not even connected to him.
Yeah.
He's chainsawing the fall devil, and there's one where they're like intertwined.
Yeah.
It's just guts and chainsaws
and
parts of all their body like everywhere, and I was like, solid.
Yeah, well, I love the end, the last chapter, how it ended where, she, completely chopped him up, and then, he was, held on by, one single chainsaw cord that his head wasn't completely decapitated, and he, used that to, sling himself forward and, eat her, so he would regenerate. And it was I really like how they're depicting his chainsaw powers and how they're evolving, because initially you're you don't really see how it can how he can do the typical shonen protagonist progression where he gets new abilities and powers, because you're well, what more can you do with chainsaws? They're chainsaws. They kind of do the same thing, but they're finding a way how he scales buildings with
and they don't explain it to you; it just happens.
Yeah,
there's no training arc that makes him figure these things out. He just
but it's such a ridiculous world that you accept it.
Oh, for sure, it's fucking nuts.
People are just... I don't know how anyone survives in this world, because people are just murdered all the time.
It's a scary... That's the kind of the tone of what I said about Vox Machina. It's just these worlds where people are just mutilated left and right for no reason.
It's strange, because on the one hand, people die all the time from devils, but on the other hand, they don't have things like war. Humanity's literally forgotten about war. Nations don't really go to war anymore.
Even the war devil itself is kind of this hidden,
very
small devil.
Yeah, and things to it. The Holocaust, I think he ate too. People don't remember or like it, like anti-Semitism or something he ate or something. But
spoilers.
Right.
Spoilers. Some people who watch our show do watch the anime, but not the manga.
That's true.
That's a pretty big
timestamp it.
Timestamp. Skip to 1:34:55. Well, it's too late for you now. Ooh, sorry.
Sorry, guys.
I don't think if you knew what we were talking about, you'd have any idea.
Right.
So, but yeah, totally into more. Yeah, every Tuesday. The thing I don't like about the chapters sometimes is he'll take like 2-week breaks.
Yeah.
And there's not a lot of content in each single chapter, so when those 2-week breaks hit it, it's like 2 weeks and I didn't get shit. 2 weeks and we're still stuck in the aquarium. Fuck me.
That aquarium one was rough. I was like, we're doing this again.
Which is fine because I like that part. I like that.
There was good parts into it, yeah.
But it's just week after week after week. It's one of those ones. It's better to binge. I have this big theory on shows, sometimes comics, but some shows are made to be like season or weekly releases, and some shows are better if you just binge. I said that with The Walking Dead.
Yeah.
When you just fucking straight binged it, you really enjoyed it. Watching a lot of that fucking shit week after week was painful.
That was what got me out of it in the first place. Was I was like, individually, episode by episode, it's not that great.
There are shows that just work better. Like Andor is a good one that was like, we'll wait a week to get to see more.
Oh, yeah.
I need a week to decompress all this. And then there's like Stranger Things, and Stranger Things is amazing. But the way those episodes are made, you have to go on to the next one immediately. Like if you had to hold that knowledge for a week, I don't think it would. I think if Stranger Things was released week by week episodes, it would not be as good. I think it needs to be binged. And like we're in this weird time where you get shows like I love The Mandalorian, but I think it would work better if you got it all at once.
Oh yeah, I agree. I don't think it's an episode or a weekly episode type.
I've started watching it like Doctor Who. That's my like thing for The Mandalorian. Is you gotta watch it like Doctor Who.
Like what's the adventure to it?
It's just the random adventure of the week that at the end might have something that ties to like what's gonna happen in the last 2 episodes of the season to be the big finale.
Right.
And that's the show, and that's always been the show. So that's what I've been doing lately. We'll get more into The Mandalorian on our Star Wars episode, though.
Yeah, definitely, for sure.
But I'm just saying it's a show
For show.
They should have dropped the whole season at once instead.
I agree.
But that's just another gripe of mine.
Gripe.
Other than that, though, that's what I got.
Yeah, I got nothing else.
I got nothing else. I'm nerded fucking out.
I am nerded out as well.
Yeah. And I think it's another episode we're at a nice crisp hour 37 right now.
Perfect.
I think I like our longer ones. I would say the Star Wars one, look for that one to be probably a little over 2 hours. I think we need to just make a day out of that day.
Yeah.
So just come over early and we'll just go from there. But, yeah, these tighter ones, I think that just...
They work.
It's easier to give out to people when it's like, oh my god, they've just them talking for 2 hours.
Yeah, much less of a commitment.
Yeah. So, that's it to, shitters.
Yeah, it's been another good one.
It's been another good one, another good talk. We changed up things a bit.
Great shit talk.
I'd hate to say the Step Up's really a nerd show, but it's a movie, so I mean that falls in.
Yeah, cinema.
They're dance nerds for sure.
For sure, they're
Faux
dance
shows.
nerds.
So hope you enjoyed it. Hope you got a few laughs.
Yeah.
Hope you're looking forward to maybe us playing video games and having fun with that. Because I know that just today playing we had quite a few laughs.
Oh
so
yeah,
I imagine
for that
we'll
20,
continue
30 minutes we played.
Yeah,
we had a successful run.
I think we did.
I've had much less successful runs than that.
Cool. Well,
Yeah.
that makes me feel pretty good. Well, Nerd Shit in the Dark's on its way to be Pirate Legends.
Hell yeah.
All right, Braden. Well, do you want to write us out?
I'm riding us out.
Oh, it's a galloping of a horse. I
Yeah.
love that. Well, do it again.
Yeehaw,
Yeehaw, everybody. Well, good night. We'll see you next time on Nerd Shit in the Dark.